The Dimapur District Auto Drivers Union DDADU has taken matters into its own hands by repairing a damaged road near Dimapur railway station. The Rising Northeast Investor Summit 2025's technical session emphasized the region's vast economic potential, with Nagaland Chief Minister Nltv describing the Northeast as a gold mine for investors. Modern College in Kohima recently celebrated the launch of Meraki, a debut poetry collection by Assistant Professor Manong Wangshu, in a special event held at the college's conference hall. Nagaland Minister for Power and Parliamentary Affairs KG Kenya inaugurated the 2.4 MW Dwilumroy hydroelectric project at Poilwa village in Peren district on May 23, 2025. The Dimapur District Disaster Management Authority DDMA convened an emergency meeting on May 23, 2025 to assess and enhance the district's readiness for the upcoming monsoon season. Hello viewers, you are watching Nltv English Primetime. This is Shamita Singha. Here is the news in details. On May 23, 2025, the Zuneboto District Football Association ZDFA observed Grassroots Football Day at Kawoto Futsal Ground. The event, themed Football for the Goals, incorporated sub-themes Say No to Single-Use Plastic and Our Football Ground, Our Responsibility, to promote environmental consciousness and community ownership. Over 80 students from 5 local schools participated in the event. Savinto K. Sumi, General Secretary of ZDFA, delivered a short talk on the theme, followed by engaging activities led by coaches to inspire young athletes and foster a sense of responsibility towards their surroundings. These initiatives underscore ZDFA's commitment to nurturing young talent and promoting sustainable practices within the community. Nagaland's Minister for Power and Parliamentary Affairs KG Kenya inaugurated the 2.4 MW Dwilumroy hydroelectric power at Poilwa village in Peren district on May 23, 2025. The project, constructed at a cost of Rs 40.29 crore under the state plan, began in April 2021 and was technically commissioned on December 11, 2024. Kenya praised the Power Department officials and contractors for completing the project within a short time frame and appreciated the cooperation of Poilwa and Huinambe villages. The project's completion is expected to boost local power supply, reduce dependence on fossil fuels, and contribute to Nagaland's clean energy goals, generating 11.95 million units of electricity annually and saving Rs 6.5 crore in power purchase costs. Secretary Power Asangla emphasized the importance of protecting the catchment area and maintaining forest covers for the project's sustainability. The Dimapur District Disaster Management Authority DDMA convened an emergency meeting on May 23, 2025 to assess and enhance the district's readiness for the upcoming monsoon season. Chaired by ADC Dimapur Zakabo B. Rotokha, the meeting highlighted the importance of proactive planning, interdepartmental coordination, and rapid response mechanisms. Modern College in Kohima recently celebrated the launch of Meraki, a debut poetry collection by Assistant Professor Manong Wangshu, in a special event held at the college's conference hall. The book was officially released by Principal Dr. Vitsoyano, who praised the author's achievement and encouraged faculty and students to explore creative expression. Watimongla Imchen, head of the English department, reviewed the collection, highlighting its quiet yet powerful verses that capture unspoken emotions. Wangshu shared insights into his writing journey, describing poetry as a mirror to the soul that channels personal experiences and contemplations on society. The event featured a poem recitation by student Kawawa Kre and concluded with remarks from the moderator, Keningule, marking a memorable celebration of literature and academic creativity. Mathung Yanthan, advisor to the Government of Nagaland, joined the first session of the Nagaland Food and Feed Link (N2FL) workshop at Hotel Jaffa on May 23. The workshop gathered people from government, industry and society to discuss how clean energy can improve farming in Nagaland. From growing crops to selling them, Yanthan spoke about Nagaland's strong farming potential but also the problems farmers face, like unreliable electricity, crop losses and poor infrastructure. The N2FL project plans to use renewable energy to solve these problems, create jobs, increase farmers' incomes and improve food security. The project is led by CESF India, IDAN Nagaland, Clean Energy International Incubation Center and UNDP India. With support from government groups, Yanthan urged everyone to work together to help farmers lead the way to a greener and fairer economy. The Committee on Petition 2025-26 of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly held its first sitting on May 19, 2025 in the C Junction Committee Room under the chairmanship of Benny M. Nltv, MLA. The committee, constituted on March 8, 2025, comprises 6 members including Tongpang Ozukun, Dr. Yome and C. Manpong Konyag. During the meeting, Nltv briefed members on the committee's powers and functions, highlighting its mandate to examine petitions, text evidence, and suggests remedial measures. The committee will consider petitions related to bills, business pending before the House, and matters of general public interest, provided they don't fall under specific excluded categories, such as matters under court jurisdiction of those raised in the Parliament. Petitions must be submitted in English or Nagamese, signed and dated by petitioners and countersigned by a member of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly. The Wokha District Football Association WDFA recently organized a grassroots football development program for boys aged 4 to 10, providing early exposure to the sports through training sessions and gameplay. A separate training camp was also held for under 16 players, further strengthening the pathway for aspiring footballers. Aligning with the All India Football Federation AIFF initiative, WDFA spearheaded a tree planting drive under the theme Football for the Goals, promoting environmental awareness and encouraging the football community to contribute to a greener future. The event concluded with an exhibition match between WDFA officials and the Wokha District Referee Board, WDRB, adding a competitive spirit to the celebrations. These initiatives mirrors global efforts such as the One Goals 100 Trees campaign, which leverages football to promote environmental conservation and sustainability. Nagaland Chief Minister Nltv Rio took part in several high-level meetings with corporate leaders, foreign delegations and private investors at the Rising Northeast Investors Summit 2025. Inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the summit aims to promote investment and economic growth in India's northeastern region. CM Rio's active participation highlights Nagaland's commitment to attracting development projects and strengthening business partnerships for the state and the wider Northeast. A one-day workshop on sustainable oil palm cultivation was held at 23rd May at Agri Expo Chimukitima, organized by the Department of Agriculture. Experts from ICAR's Indian Institute of Oil Palm Research and the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil RSPO shared best practices and scientific insights on sustainable farming. Agricultural Director Sanuzo Nyenu highlighted Nagaland's target to cultivate 15,000 hectares of oil palm by 2025 to 26 in 2 zones, ensuring no harm to forests or biodiversity. Partnerships with Godrej Agrovet and Patanjali Foods supports this effort. The state has already planted over 6,000 hectares, with more plantations underway and nurseries established in key areas. The initiative aims to boost farmers' incomes and create jobs supported by Government of India funding under the National Mission of Edible Oils. The workshop was attended by farmers, NGOs and stakeholders and chaired by Joint Director Z. Hukato Sema.
One decision support system has been developed for testing the suitability of an individual site. That was at a broader level. At district level, you will get the area suitable for oil palm cultivation. This is at district level. So this is PC compatible software. Otherwise, also we are having
that it destroys the soil, the environment, and it creates a lot of residues, leaves a lot of residues, pesticides and fertilizer residues in the oil palm plantations. So we do not fully deny that also, but many have just, as you can see in various YouTubes and other social media platforms, that they are just, citing many scientific facts without evidences. So today we have engaged the Indian Institute of Oil Palm Research, the premier organization in India who are involved in research on these various aspects. So after a very difficult
correspondence widely because it is used and it's also produced widely because there is a lot of demand for both food, non-food, and all kinds of applications. So that is basically why palm oil is popular. And when we look at this is an infographic, there's a lot of numbers there. But if you want to simplify, this is just from a report that was published by IUCN, the International Union for Conservation. It's a UN organization that looks at conserving biodiversity and wildlife and all of that. So they did a very detailed study on edible oils and how is the edible oil market evolving, what is the resource use of different edible oils. And this is just showing how much of land is actually under oil palm cultivation. So if you look at the total land that is under oil palm under oil crops, it's 540 million hectares, of which palm oil is only occupying less than 30 million hectares. So it's only 5.3% of the total land that is.
The Civil Judge Senior Division in Mokokchung delivered a landmark ruling on May 23, declaring the Ao Baptist Arogo Mungdang's ABAM boycott of the Molong Yemsen Baptist Church's sesquicentennial Jubilee celebration in November 2022 as unlawful and unconstitutional. The court cited violations of ABAM's own bylaws and criticized the organization for abstaining from legal proceedings. Although the court dismissed claims regarding official recognition of the church origin and relocation due to the lack of evidence, it emphasized that religious beliefs cannot override the rule of law. A formal degree is expected to be issued within a week. The Dimapur District Auto Drivers Union DDADU has taken matters into its own hands by repairing a damaged road near Dimapur railway station, a crucial route connecting to the station and serving as a major auto parking zone. Led by President Tito Yeptho along with his team and the auto parking in charge, the union used sand and gravel to fix the road and clean the area to ensure a smoother passage of vehicles. Despite their efforts, DDADU has sought immediate assistance from the government and Dimapur Municipal Council (DMC) to further improve the road's condition. This initiative highlights the union's proactive approach to addressing local infrastructure issues, echoing concerns raised by residents in other areas of Dimapur about poor road conditions and the need for effective maintenance.
San Ishna Jundu Pushugulido Rastalaga maintenance or along that additionally cleanliness labi itia jai takade Dimapur district drivers auto drivers union laga president amyan lote ase tai ke amyan hudi sabo that taibra ji to initiate nali bitala team gan pra initiate lo do ki bhabna kone lo laga ase Mr. Tito I want to ask apni hudi bole mon ase department khan bi ase dukan maintain guru bole bishi sal bra nika hi phelai ne rakhi na ase whereas letra bi bishi thaki jai to apni khan laga hi union pra ki lahine de to safa guru bon bi banai dibo kone bhabna kore ase
सबसे पहला Nltv আমি কান কভার করা তো থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ মে গড ব্লেস ইদু কান অলপ দেরি হৈ যাইছে ইদু রেল গেট মেইনটেইন না করা তো আৰু আমি কান লাগা অটো ড্রাইভার কান বেশি দুখ পায় স্পেশালি ৰাতিপুৱা মানুহ কান বিয়া সামান আনি কিনে এতিয়া লাগাই দে আৰু তাহান মৰ্নিং তো এতিয়া ব্ৰেকফাষ্ট দিনা হৈ যায় সেইকাৰণে আমি কান ভাবনা কৰি কিনে এই দুজি হলেবি গভর্নমেন্ট কে নকইলেবি আমি কান নিজৰ আমি কান নিজৰ মিলাই কিনে কন্ট্রিবিউশন করে কিনা আমি কান ইউনিয়ন পৰা ইনিশিয়েট করে কিনে এইটো বনাই দিব কোন আমি কান এইটো ইনিশিয়েট কৰা আছে
আচ্ছা আপনি কি বনাই আছে রাস্তাতে আমি সাউথ সেন্ড গ্রেভেলস খান আছে গিটি খান আছে আৰু কি করবলে আছে আপনি
আমি কান পাৰতক তো সেন্ড গ্ৰেভেল লাগাবলে আছে আৰু এইটো অলপ মেইনটেইন কৰবলে আছে এন্ড পাৰতক তোমাৰ প্লাস্টাৰ বি কৰবলে ভাবনা কৰি আছে
আপনি তো আপনি এইটো লাগা রিকোয়েস্ট হৈ কিনে কিলে আমি জানা তাক তো পাবলিক বি সব জানে এইটো একটা মেজর পয়েন্ট আছে রেলওয়ে স্টেশন পৰা ওলাই কিনে অটো লব বলি তো অটো স্ট্যান্ড অটো পার্কিং আমি এইটো কি জানে তো কনভিনিয়েন্স কারণে পাবলিক খানলা ভাল কারণে পানি রেনি সিজন আছে বেশি দিগদার পাই যায় তো তাহান কারণে কনভিনিয়েন্স কারণে আপনি আন বি যাইনে ডিপার্টমেন্ট কে অ্যাপ্রোচ করবলে আছে না ইদার আপনি আন কারণে এইটো রাস্তা তো আপনি আন তো ওয়ারএস সেন্ড গ্রেভেল গিটি খান উলিবি ফেলাই কিনে সাফা কৰি আছে ফিনিশিং টাচ তো তাহালা সাইড প্রায় এটলিস্ট কৰি দিবি কোনি তো কব না কব আপনি
সে পয়লা আমি কানি হাত ছই কিনা এইটো পিছে আমি গলা দুখ চিংগা এতে পাবলিক খান ওয়েল অটো ড্রাইভার খান কিনা দুখ পাছে আমি কানি ইভেন কানি হাত ছই কিনা itu jadi আমি kan asla আছে গভর্নমেন্ট গবি ইনটাচ করো এন্ড ওয়েরেস ডিমারমেন্ট বসবে খান গবি মতো মাঙ্গিবো আর কি পারে আমি kan পারতক তো আগে হেড করব
আচ্ছা তো আপনি তো এইটো করা তো আপনি লাগা টিম খান যোন তো অটো ড্রাইভার্স খান আছে তাহান লতে কনসাল্ট কৰি নে কৰিছ না কিনকা কৰি না আছে
itu আমি kan la অটো ড্রাইভার ইউনিয়ন এটা কোন এটা পার্কিং ইনচার্জ আছে পার্কিং চেয়ারম্যান আছে তাতে স্টাফ তাহান 7 জন 8 জন আছে তাহান বেশি বড় আমি কে স্যার মরম রা itu বানাই দিবি হলে বি আমি একলা বার না পারে তাহলে কর্পোরেশন নহলে আর অল দিস থিং অল itu তো পয়সা ম্যাটারতে হয়ে যায় না তুই কারণে মহান আজি কথা করে কিনে জি হলে বি আমি লা সাইড পর আমি কি পারবো আমি মতলব করো হলে বি তাহান বি পার্কিং সাইড পর কি ফিজিক্যাল হলে বি এখানে প্রেজেন্স করে কিনা আমি কি দিছে আমি বি পারতক তুমি লাগা আমি কি পারে আমি তাহান কি মতলব করো আর কিমান ফাইনান্সিয়াল মতলব করো পারবো আমি বি করো কোনে itu করে আছে আর পারতক তো in future day আমি kan government kan ke bhi help mangibo as well as ami koi nishna DMC kan ke bhi help mangibo
আচ্ছা এটা লেত্রা থাকা বি দে পাবলিক টয়লেট থাকা বি যদি আমি সাই হিসাব দে তো বেশি লেত্রা ইউরিনেট করনে পিসাব কান করনে লেত্রা ফেলাই ইনে জাবরা ফেলাই ইনে বেশি থাকি যায় তো একটা হিসাব তো সিভিক সেন্স না থাকা হিসাব দিবি মানুহান একটা ঘুরে আছে তো ইতুলো বড়ে যে আপনি এসে আপনি অলমোস্ট থাউজেন্ডস অফ পিপল কে আপনি লিড করে আছে লিডার আপনি কি কো বলে মন আছে তো বড়ে
সি এতে আমি একটা পাবলিক ইরে কিমান জন থাকি আছে এটা রেসিডেন্স থাকি আছে এতে হোটেল থাকি আছে এতে দোকান ঘুরে আছে মরম ঘুরে কিনে এটা সামান না ফেলাই দিবি বলে ফেলাই কিনা মর্নিং তে আহি কিনা ডেমসি কানি উঠাই লব কারণ মরম রে না ফেলাই দিবি কিলে মানে হদাই আমি গলা ড্রাইভার খান দে এতে বয়ে এতে পুরা তাহলে প্যাসেঞ্জার লোক যায় as well as পাবলিক খান বি বেশিরভাগ তো এতে 7 মাইল 6 মাইল চুমা কিনমা তো এতে পুরা যায় এই কারণে আমি খান হেল্প মেইনটেইন করব লাগে আমি খান হেল্প চাব লাগে কারণ এতে কিমান জন হোটেল আছে বাহিৰ মানুহ হবি আৰু লোকাল মানুহ হবি মৰম পুৰা এটা সামান না বেকাই দিবি আৰু এতিয়া তো কোন এটা সামান বেকাব আমি খান অটো ড্রাইভার খান বি তাহাঙ্গে না ছাড়ব কিলে মানে আমি খান এতিয়া তো আমি খান বয় আছে
লাস্ট আপনি ডিএমসি কি কিবা কব দ্যাট ডিএমসি কান বি আইগিনে কিনকা কোনে তাহান বি একটা স্ট্রিমলাইন করিলে ঠিক আছে মর্নিং এস কোয়ানিশনা আপনি বড় কোয়া আছে দ্যাট পাবলিক তো কর্পোরেশন মাংছে তো পাবলিক খানি তো কুরছিল তো লাস্ট আইগিনে তাহান লা লুই জালা কাম আছে ডিএমসি কানলা তাহান কি আপনি কিবা কব আছে
সে DMC kan give একটা রিকোয়েস্ট করলে মন তো হয় মই নিজর বাস জানে আছে স্যানিটেশন খান বেশি দুখ পাছে ডিমাপুর ইজ এ ভেরি বিগ সিটি as well as তাহান সব নতুন মানুষ আছে বলে বি তাহান তো বেশি ট্রাই করে আছে মই নিজর শুকরবার দেখি আছে স্যানিটেশন দেখে থাকে কারণ as well as চেয়ারম্যান বি কিমান কাউন্সিলর আছে ইমান ট্রান্সফার ট্রাই করে আছে বলে বি তাহান বি পার্টক তো ট্রাই করে বলে পাবলিক বি তাহান কে কোঅপারেট করি কিনা কাম করে দিবি as well as আমি খান ইউনিয়ন বি তাহান কে কোঅপারেট করব আর মহান tang ke be help mang you in future de ki ulebi American Union to tang log under da se tang ke help mang you aro morom bra DMC kan bi morom bra American auto union kan ke itu nisna jaga de morom bra moto kur dibi kuna DMC kan ke be khobor pata se thank you
thank you san ishna jundu khushuglidu rasta laga maintenance aro along with
Viewers will be back after a short break. Welcome back, viewers. You are watching Nltv English Primetime. In response to the Pahalgam incident where Pakistan-backed terrorists reportedly discredited vermilion from Indian women, a Sindoor Yatra rally was held in Teliamura Assembly from constituency on Friday evening. Organized by the BJP Mahila Morcha, the rally aimed to uphold the honor and tradition of Indian women. Chief Conscious Kalyani Saha Roy thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his strong stance on women's dignity and called for stricter measures to ensure their safety. Women from various backgrounds joined the rally, carrying the vermilion and the national flag, sparking unity and enthusiasm across the constituency. The Sustainable Development Goals Coordination Center SDGCC, Nagaland recently launched an orientation program on the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs with NSS volunteers of Ruzukriya Government Higher Secondary School in Kohima as part of the SDG Youth Ambassadors Program. The initiative aims to empower young minds to become active advocates for a sustainable and inclusive future. During the program, students were introduced to the 17 global goals and encouraged to take leadership roles in local sustainability actions, aligning with Nagaland's broader development and sustainability roadmap. This effort reflects SDGCC Nagaland's commitment to building awareness and actions among youth, echoing the state's progress in achieving SDGs, such as performing well in goals like no poverty, clean water and sanitation, and climate action. The Rising Northeast Investors Summit 2025's technical session emphasized the region's vast economic potential, with Nagaland Chief Minister Nltv Rio describing the Northeast as a gold mine for investors. Rio highlighted Nagaland's transformation journey, focusing on the state's growing competitiveness in textiles and distinctive traditional crafts. The summit aims to draw significant investments into the Northeast, serving as a platform for policy dialogue, innovation exchange, and strengthening partnerships between the center and northeastern states. Key focus areas include textiles, infrastructure, agriculture, and startups, with the goal of fostering sustainable and inclusive growth. Notably, Reliance Industries has committed to investing Rs 75,000 crore in the Northeast over the next 5 years, while Adani Group has pledged Rs 50,000 crore, potentially generating over 2.5 million employment opportunities. The Nagaland government has suspended IAS officer Rennie Welfred, Joint Secretary in the Finance Department, following sexual harassment complaints by female staff. The Nagaland State Commission for Women filed the case in March. NSCW Chairman W. Konyak and Supreme Court Advocate Brinda Grover addressed the issue in May 24 press conference at Hotel Saramati. Let's have a detailed report From reporter Niboli, Yeptho, let's have a look.
The Nagaland. Good morning, everyone. As I've been introduced and as you may be aware, I have been engaged by the Commission to represent them before the Honorable High Court of Nagaland, where we appeared yesterday in the Kohima High Court. We are, of course, speaking in the context of an ongoing investigation, a case in which the Nagaland Women's Commission has played a sterling role. And the reason I say that, this is a case under investigation, so I will not be going into any details because that is for the police to investigate and for the police to then place the charge sheet before the competent court. However, Nagaland Women's Commission did play a role in the issue coming to light, as there were quite a few women working within IDAN who informed them of the sexual harassment that they were facing at the hands of the accused who's under investigation, Mr. Rennie Wilfred. Why does a body, a statutory body like Nagaland's Women Commission, step into the situation? In my legal practice now of over 30 years, I have represented many women and other vulnerable groups and marginalized sections in their struggles for justice. If I were to focus on what I have learned from my experience as a lawyer, particularly on issues relating to sexual violence against women, we know that despite the law today having many provisions that prohibit any form of sexual offense, be it sexual harassment, molestation, outraging modesty, disrobing a woman, rape, gang rape, everything stands prohibited and penalized under Indian law. Many of the changes, as you all may be aware, took place in 2013 post the Nirbhaya incident in Delhi. Yet, what we do know, and we know this from our personal experience and from our professional experience, women continue to face a lot of sexual violence. And the sexual violence, as I said, is a range. It is very commonly misunderstood that when we talk about sexual violence, we are only talking about rape. That is, to my mind, a completely wrong reading and understanding of the law. And that I would go so far as to say that this confusion is deliberately created so that we are not aware of our rights. Sexual harassment is about the dignity of a woman. And that is what, in 1997, in the Vishakha judgment, the Honorable Supreme Court said there should be a way to address the misconduct of sexual harassment. Following the 1997 Vishakha judgment, all workplaces across the country, be a government office, a private office, a school, a college, a university, even a court, a private office, everybody was required, as per the Supreme Court guidelines, to have what was called an internal complaints committee. We know that most places did not actually act immediately post the 1997 judgment. Then we had the 2013 law, what is commonly called the POSH law, which is the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013, which codifies what the 1997 judgment said. Good morning.
Viewers will be back after a short break. Welcome back, viewers. You are watching Nltv English Primetime. On May 24, MP S. Supongmeren Jamir visited the Martoshi Memorial Mission Project in Longmisa, a community initiative supporting students through a dammed fishery. Launched in 1986 to honor the village's first Christian convert, Martoshi, the project reflects strong collaboration between the village council and church. Jamir praised it as a model of grassroots development. On May 23, thousands of women marched in Imphal East Mira rally to protest the alleged removal of the word Manipur from an MST bus by the 4th Mahar Regiment. Organized by Aurora Club and Library, the rally drew massive participation and raised slogans against top state officials, condemning the act as an act of Manipur's identity.
Today we have organized a rally to condemn the thing which has been played by the central government, that even in our own state we are not allowed to move leveling our Manipur state in the vehicles, which they were attending the Shiroi festival on 28th of this month. Why they have been stopped this thing that we cannot move freely in our own state leveling Manipur. So the committee or the people who or central government who has been given the advice to stop the thing. So the governor also, we feel like that they are trying to keep Manipur aside and then trying to keep us like hidden that to not to move freely, so and so. Our demand is that the governor, which is controlling our Manipur, they could not control the situation. So please go back, governor, who is not working properly to protect our Manipur. Please go back, CS. Please go back, DZP.
Nagaland's Public Health Engineering Department PHED has declared Wokha and Chumukdima districts 100% #Har Ghar Jal complaint under the Jal Jeevan Mission, ensuring safe tap water for all rural households, schools and Anganwaris. The Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services Department in Phek District organized an awareness campaign on the Entrepreneurship Development Program under the National Livestock Mission at Sakraba Village, Chizami Block. The campaign aimed to educate rural entrepreneurs and livestock farmers about the scheme's opportunities, which include a 50% capital subsidy for setting up livestock-related businesses such as poultry, piggery, goatery, and feed manufacturing units. The event saw enthusiastic participations from local farmers, youth, and self-help groups, highlighting the growing interest in animal husbandry and a viable source of income and employment. By promoting rural entrepreneurship and livestock development, the program seeks to enhance rural livelihoods and boost the livestock sector. People in the 26-card area of Kamala Sagar Assembly constituency are angry and protesting because of a job controversy. They say a water pump operator job promised to an unemployed youth from Ward number 4 was given to Amresh Sarkar, the son of a former local leader from Ward number 2. After a payment, about 90 families in the hilly area have struggled with water shortages. After long waiting, a water pump was installed recently and local leaders had promised the job would go to someone from Ward number 4. But the unexpected appointment of Amresh Sarkar has upset residents. Protesters have locked the water pump and said that they will keep it closed until the job is given to a person from their ward. They want clear answers and fairness in the hiring and have warned their protester will continue until their demands are met. The District Urban Development Agency DUDA in Phek has launched a Women for Tree campaign, with the MUHO self-help group conducting its first phase exposure visit to a plantation site at CMHSS compound in Peck Town. The community-driven afforestation initiative aims to promote urban greenery, sustainability, and women's participation in environmental conservation. The site, currently under construction, will serve as a key location for upcoming plantation activities by engaging women-led groups in urban development and ecological restoration. DUDA is aligning with broader site goals under the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). This initiative underscores the importance of community involvement in environmental conservation and sustainable development. Huge protests erupted on May 23 in Imphal West and East after it was reported that the name Manipur was covered up on a government bus carrying journalists. This happened near Gwaltabi checkpost on May 20, while journalists were traveling to cover the Shiri Lili festival in Ukhrul district. Security personnel allegedly made DIPR staff cover the state's name on the bus windshield with white paper. Angry people held rallies and formed human chains in places like Chingmirong, Kongba, and Lamlong, saying that the act hurts Manipur's history and culture. Protesters tried to march to the Raj Bhavan but were stopped by the security forces. The Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity (COCOMI) called for a 48-hour shutdown. But the government has set up a two-member committee to investigate the incident and the role of security personnel. The event has raised fears about protecting Manipur's identity amid ongoing tensions in the region. Educator and researcher Tia Wapangla recently launched her new academic book, Language Across the Curriculum, at Hotel Simorb in Kohima. The book was unveiled by Dr. Gomesh Mosahari, principal of Sazolia College of Teacher Education, who praised the author for creating a valuable research for BEd students. Tia Wapangla, an assistant professor at Sazolia College and PhD scholar at Nagaland University, drew from her teaching experience to consolidate key concepts from education, linguistics, psychology, and philosophy. Published by Pine Press, the launch event included remarks from publishing partner Risho and an invocation by Songtinaro Jamir. The book aims to bridge gaps in existing reference materials and serve as a practical academic guide for students. The Assam Rifles is strengthening community bonds and supporting youth through several activities. In Kifri, Nagaland, they held a tree plantation drive with local children to promote care for the environment. In Atsibung Peren district, a friendly volleyball match was played between Assam Rifles and local residents to build friendship. In Churachandpur, Manipur, Assam, Rifles gave a motivational talk to students about careers in the Indian Armed Forces, inspiring many young people. This effort shows Assam Rifles' commitment to environment, community, and youth in the Northeast. A great achievement was made by students from the remote border areas of Jang and Dirang. Out of 44 students, 38 have passed the All India Sainik School entrance examination, announced on May 23. This success came after a free coaching program by the Indian Army's Gajraj Corps from July 2024 to April 2025. The program helps students with studies and motivation, giving them confidence and skills to compete at the national level. A public relations officer said these students are the future of India and showed that with the right support, even remote areas can succeed. The Indian Army praised the students and families, calling this a proud moment for the region and the country. Arunachal Pradesh has marked a significant milestone in rural infrastructure development with the launch of its first full dam reclamation (FDR) road project at Liago village, Tezu, under the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana (PMGSY). Minister of Rural Works, Education and Tourism Pasang Dorji Sona officially flagged off the project, emphasizing the state's commitment to inclusive development and ensuring no village is left behind. The FDR technique is a modern and eco-friendly road from rehabilitation method that recycles existing road materials on site, offering a cost-effective and durable solution. This initiative aims to boost connectivity and improve the quality of life in remote areas of the state, showcasing Arunachal's focus on sustainable and resilient infrastructure development. The project was attended by Namsai MLA Chao Zingnu Namchum and Tezu Sunpura MLA Dr. Mohesh Chai, highlighting the government's collective efforts to enhance rural infrastructure. Assam Rifles have been actively engaged in various community welfare initiatives in Manipur, showcasing its commitment to the region's development. Recent activities include a blood donation camp at Kadamtala, Jiribam district in collaboration with Blood Center SB Dev Civil Hospital, Silchar, promoting voluntary blood donation. Additionally, Assam Rifles conducted a motivational lectures on career in armed forces for students in Churachandpur, providing insights into joining the forces and service benefits. A medical camp and relief program was also organized at Government School, Molpi Tampak village, benefiting 265 villagers with free checkups and medicines. Furthermore, a lecture marking National Anti-Terrorism Day was held at Company Operation Base Chandrakhong, Thubal district, promoting awareness and unity against terrorism. These initiatives demonstrate Assam Rifles' dedication to community welfare, youth empowerment, and security awareness in Manipur, aligning with its motto, Friends of the Hill People. Papum Pare Deputy Commissioner Jiken Bomjen has assured students of the Films and Television Institute FTI in Jote that key infrastructure concerns will be resolved by June 15. Following a review meeting with central government officials and the Central Public Works Department CPWD, Bomjen acknowledged pending construction of buildings and ongoing issues like power cuts, water shortages and road slides. The CPWD has promised to complete classroom-related work within the set deadline.
FTI का जो इश्यूज है उसको लेके खास करके बच्चा लोग भी वहाँ में धरना वगैरह ऑब्जेक्शन क्या क्या टेंशन है, तो ये सब इश्यूज को हम लोग डिस्कस करने के लिए आज हम लोग का बीच में SRFTI का अथॉरिटी, डिप्टी रजिस्ट्रार SRFTI अरुणाचल, उसका बाद में चीफ एकेडमिक कोऑर्डिनेटर उनका तरफ से आया, फिर यहाँ पे डायरेक्टर IPR, उसका बाद में लाइन डिपार्टमेंट जो स्टेक होल्डर है, एक्शन CPWD, एक्शन PHED, एक्शन इलेक्ट्रिकल, उसका बाद में यही सब RWD का आया था जो कि वहाँ वो काम करते हैं। वहाँ में ये इशू जो डिस्कस किया कि एक्चुअली वहाँ में बिल्डिंग्स बनना बाकी है, तो इस सिलसिले में कल भी एक रिव्यू लिया था सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से, सेक्रेटरी साहब रिव्यू लिया था, तो उसमें वही रिव्यू BC को लेके हम लोग ये सब जगह आज रेज किया कि कुछ ना कुछ हम लोग को करना है जो कर सकता है। तो वहाँ में अभी पानी का प्रॉब्लम है, बिजली का प्रॉब्लम है, रास्ता का स्लाइड का प्रॉब्लम से, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का, और एक्चुअली उनका जो क्लासरूम जो बोलता है टेक्निकली एक है, उसको तो हम वो भी मतलब हम लोगों ने CPWD से एश्योरेंस ले लिया कि वो 15 जून को गर्ल्स हॉस्टल कंप्लीट करेगा। उससे पहले 31 मई को उसका जो ट्रेनिंग का एक क्लासरूम होता है, थिएटर, हाँ, तो उसको कंप्लीट करेगा बोल के वो एश्योरेंस।
A devastating fire broke out at a hospital in Nagaon, Assam on Saturday morning, claiming that the life of a woman. However, details suggest that the incident might not have occurred at a hospital but rather a residential area. As reports indicate, a woman died in the house fire in Nagaon's Jail Road area. The 57-year-old woman, Amrun Khatun, was bedridden and unable to escape the inferno. Firefighters arrived promptly and brought the blaze under control within a couple of hours. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. On May 23, Tezpur University, Assam formalized a strategic partnership with Silpakorn University, Bangkok by signing a Memorandum of Understanding with MOU as Silpakorn University's President's Office. This agreement aims to enhance academic collaboration through joint research projects, faculty and student exchange programs, and shared academic resources. The MOU also plans for organizing joint seminars, workshops, and promoting cultural understanding through interdisciplinary studies. Tezpur University Vice-Chancellor Professor Shambhu Nath Singh highlighted that this collaboration will create greater academic opportunities and students and faculty while also strengthening the historical cultural connections between India and Thailand. He specifically noted the importance of the ties between Assam's Thai Ahom community and over Thai ethnic groups with their Thai heritage, emphasizing that this partnership will deepen both educational and cultural exchanges between the two regions. Honorable Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Minister Jayantri and Arunachal Deputy CM Chawna Main attended the Rising Northeast Investors Summit 2024 in Delhi, highlighting investment, skill building and inclusive growth in the region. An all-party Indian delegation led by senior BJP leader Baijayant Jay Panda arrived in Bahrain to highlight India's stance against cross-border terrorism. The delegation was received by Ambassador Vinod K. Jacob at the airport, and according to the Embassy of India in the Bahrain, the country's unwavering stand against terrorism will be emphasized in all engagements. This diplomatic outreach is part of India's efforts to inform the international community about Pakistan's designs and India's response to terror, with 7 multi-party delegations visiting 33 global capitals. The move comes amid escalated tensions between India and Pakistan following the Pahalgam attack, which claimed 26 lives, and subsequent military actions and talks between the two nations. India's ambassador to the UAE, Sanjay Sudhir, emphasized that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made it clear that India will not hesitate to destroy terror hubs threatening its national security, asserting that we love peace but nobody can take us for granted. Sudhir's remarks came during an Indian all-party delegation's visit to the UAE, led by Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Shinde, aimed at bolstering counter-terrorism cooperation and exposing Pakistan's alleged involvement in cross-border terror. The UAE has reaffirmed its support for India in the global fight against terrorism, with both nations working closely to combat the threat. The visit also highlighted the growing economic ties between India and the UAE, with trade exceeding $100 billion in FY 2024 to 2025, and the UAE emerging as India's largest source of foreign direct investment (FDI). The two countries are expanding partnerships in areas like the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor (IMEC) to enhance trade connectivity.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक बात स्पष्ट कर दी है कि सब्र की सीमा होती है। हम शांति प्रिय देश हैं और हमारा देश महात्मा गांधी, गौतम बुद्ध, महावीर का देश है, लेकिन सब्र की सीमा होती है। तो कोई हमें cannot take for granted, and we have been suffering from cross-border terrorism for more than 4 decades now. इस बार हमने प्रमाणित कर दिया कि अगर हमें प्रोवोक किया जाएगा तो हम उसके लिए रिटेलिएट करेंगे। पिछली बार कुछ बार जो हमने रिटेलिएट किया, रिस्पॉन्ड किया, वो फिर भी थोड़ा लिमिटेड था, चाहे वो बालाकोट हो, चाहे वो सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक्स हो। बट इस बार हमने बिल्कुल सिद्ध कर दिया कि अगर ऐसी कोई घटना होती है तो हम जो उनके गढ़ हैं, टेररिस्ट हब्स हैं, उनको हम अटैक करेंगे, जो हमने किया। उसके बाद फिर अगर कोई प्रोवोकेशन होता है तो फिर हम रिटेलिएट करते हैं, एंड दैट टेक्स अस टू द न्यू नॉर्मल विच प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैज बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट वेरी लाउड एंड क्लियर। सो मुझे लगता है कि जो मैसेज जो हमें भेजना था वो पाकिस्तान को ही नहीं, सबको समझ में आ रहा है कि अब ये नया नॉर्मल हो गया है। अब हिंदुस्तान के बारे में जब सोचें, हिंदुस्तान के साथ डील करें, तो ये चीज़ सबको ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी. Well, if you look at trade, the graph is very steep and going up. For our last financial year, 2024-25, we just got the trade figures. Our bilateral trade has already crossed $100 billion. And that's a big milestone, which we have achieved actually well ahead of the target date. UAE is one of the largest sources of FDI for us. There is now partnership in a lot of new areas. Things like the very ambitious global strategic project called IMEC, in which India and the UAE are the first two countries which will be then connected to Saudi, Jordan, Israel, and then across the Mediterranean Sea to European countries and then to the US. Between us, we have already started work on that during the visit of Sheikh Khalid to India on the invitation of Prime Minister Modi in September last year. The virtual trade corridor was launched. And these days, we are very actively working in developing interfaces wherein we can reduce paperwork, reduce costs, so that seamless connectivity in terms of IMEC can happen. And IMEC is, as you know, is not just about moving containers. It's also about moving data. It's about moving clean green energy also. So we are already working on that. And as we speak, we are working on testing out a proof of concept, which should happen perhaps in the next 1 month or so. So there is so much to do, the I2U2.
Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Shinde, leading an all-India party delegation in the UAE, delivered a firm message against Pakistan's role in cross-border terrorism, stating the world needs to see the real face of Pakistan. The delegation's visit aims to expose Pakistan's involvement in terrorism, particularly following the April 22 Pahalgam terror attack that killed 26 innocent civilians. The UAE, which was amongst the first nations to condemn the attack, has reaffirmed its commitment to counter-terrorism cooperation with India. The Indian delegation's efforts are part of New Delhi's global diplomatic campaign to highlight its zero-tolerance policy on terrorism and secure broader international support against extremist networks. India's ambassador to the UAE, Sunjay Sudhir, emphasized that there's a limit to patience and India will not hesitate to destroy terror hubs threatening its national security.
Now is the time to go out and tell the entire world what our neighboring nation is doing. This is the message against terrorism. We are carrying it and giving it to the whole world. Each and everyone sitting here also has roots in India. You also know the history of India. You also know the relationship with the neighboring nation. We are a peace-loving nation. We come from a land of Gautam Buddha, Mahavira and Gandhiji. We never initiate. May it Mumbai serial blast, 26/11, Pathankot, Pulwama or Pahalgam. But this time, the attack happened with a clear-cut message. A clear-cut message to the entire humanity. Innocent lives were killed, 26 people lost their lives. People were brutally murdered in front of their family. Small children and their wives watching their sole breadwinner of the family dying in front of them. I think it is very much important now for the entire nation to know the real face of Pakistan, our neighboring nation, which is harboring the terrorist, which is giving sponsor.
9 Bangladeshis, including 2 children and 3 transgenders, were caught by the BSF while illegally crossing the India-Bangladesh border in West Tripura's Kalkalia area. They were handed over to Shidai police and sent for court proceedings. Donald Trump, the former US president, has warned Apple that it must manufacture iPhones in the United States to avoid steep tariffs on products sold domestically. Trump stated that Apple CEO Tim Cook was informed on these expectations, but if not met, a 25% tariff would be imposed on iPhones made in India or elsewhere for the US market. This warning follows reports that Apple plans to source most of its US-bound iPhones from India in the June quarter. Trump had previously asked Cook to shift production to the US during a visit to Doha, citing his understanding that Apple would increase production in the US as a part of a $500 billion investment pledge. Experts note that relocating production to the US would be costly and time-consuming due to Apple's established supply chain in Asia.
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair. So anybody that makes that product, and that'll start on, I guess, at the end of June. It'll come out. I think we have that appropriately done by the end of June. So if they make that product, now again, when they build their plant here, there's no tariff. So they're going to be building plants here. But I had an understanding with Tim that he wouldn't be doing this. He said he's going to India to build plants. I said, that's okay to go to India, but you're not going to sell into here without tariffs. And that's the way it is, yeah.
Well, why would you put it in America? What makes you confident, sir, that Apple can build in the United States at a price that American consumers?
Oh, they can. No, they can. And a lot of it's so computerized now. These plants are amazing if you look at them, but they can do that. And actually, as you know, Apple's coming in with $500 billion. So are the chip companies. We have all of the chip companies coming in. The biggest, $500 billion, $200 billion, $250 billion they're spending. But we're talking about the iPhone now, and the iPhone, if they're going to sell it.
This is all for Nltv English Primetime. For more news and updates, keep watching Nagaland TV.